planned this before going to the workshop. I just need to ask few these questions. Like in the registration, I saw around 50% were first year rights and almost 50% were in the second year rights. So I would like to ask the first year rights regarding like how have you seen how electronics lab would be? Any electronics lab? Like you guys have any idea how the electronics lab would be? Like what are the components they even the components also you guys don't have idea. Like you would have learned few things in your 12th, right? So those components. Okay, fine. So you yeah, if you are if you go to any electronics lab, you'll be able to see there will be a variety of components starting from resistors, capacitors to diodes, transistors, where etc. A lot of components, and then you'll be having few machines also, not machines exactly. It will what like to calculate, to measure things, to provide inputs. You'll be able to see many things. Many things will be there in an electronics lab. So the basic motive of this workshop is to try to give that much that level of experience in online itself. That's why we wanted to conduct this simulation session, simulation and basic circuits workshop. This will be mostly concentrating on analog circuits only. Not it's not it and not theory. We won't go into theory also. It will be just showing you how it will be. That's it. So here we have two speakers, Surya Srikar and Chandrakant Mohapatra. They are third year rights. Both are from EEE department, and they will be conducting the workshop today. And I'll pass on to them. Yeah. And any doubts you want to ask, you could put it in the chat section. We'll be able to solve your queries side by side. Yeah, Srikar.
Yes, thank you, Kirti. So, hello all. This is Surya Srikar, the overall coordinator of Electronics Club. So, today I'll just give a brief overview of what we'll be covering today. Um, so, before that, a disclaimer. So, today we will be looking at op-amp circuits. Like we will be having other circuits as well, but we'll have op-amp circuits. So it is advisable that everyone has an idea about how op-amps work and how the basic circuits work, like inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, and the other related circuits. So it will be easier for you to understand and visualize the outputs that we'll be demonstrating today. And one more thing is that I advise all of you to work parallelly. This is not going to be a theory session. I don't want it to be like I'm blabbering about the circuit continuously. I want you to sit and simulate it at your end as well. I will be showing the simulation anyways, but if you sit and work on LTSpice yourself and try to tweak values while I'm doing the explanation, you can tweak the values and try to check the output for different values of components and different inputs. You will understand better. If you already have a basic background in circuits, then you can just try to sharpen your knowledge. So with that being said, I'll share my screen.
And between, I'd like to say that we are just your seniors. No need to call us sir. Like if you are juniors to us, you could call us by Bhaiya. And if you are like elder to us, you could just call us by our names. No need to call us sir. I see like a few sirs in the chat section. Please don't do that. It's like it looks so weird for us. Just you could call us Bhaiya if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really yes, we will be I will show you um, so far. Okay, we'll first go with LTSpice demonstration. Can everyone see my LTSpice window? Yeah, instead of typing yes, you can use these reaction options. You know, there are you can see yes, 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 this one. You can do these reaction options, because chat box is unnecessarily flooded with so many things. So if you so this is good. So first of all, I hope all of you have downloaded the lm741.mod file. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is you have to include that file. Just like I'm pretty sure all of you know programming. So just like you, how you include the header file hash include iostream.h or whatever. So same way you have to include the library file of the op amp. So LTSpice doesn't provide us with this model of op amp LM741. So access was being denied. Let me see. So you have to provide the entire path. Wherever the file is saved, you have to type it like this: dot include space c users my whatever the path, and then finally the file name. So I get something like this. After doing that, I can click anywhere on the screen and it gets settled there. You cannot extract LM741. You mean the RAR file? Wait a second. Did all of you download the you know the this one rar file from the link that we provided, the rar file? Should I resend the link? One sec, I'll just resend the link. Everyone can visit this link. Yeah, please visit that link. There you will get a extra the rar file. You have to extract it, or not opening in the sense you're not able to extract it, or what is the problem? I'm not asking you to open the mod file. You're supposed to extract the rar file that you're downloading right now. You're not supposed to open the mod file. You cannot open the mod file, obviously. See, I'll download it and show you once again. Yeah, are you able to see my screen? My desktop? Yes. So here is the file that we are supposed to extract. So just right click and do the extract here option, and it is asking me to replace. Basically I already have the file, that's why it is asking me to replace. And after I replace, I get the file lm741, this particular file. If you can see this file, and then you have to go to LTSpice and do the thing. Everyone, please try it again. Are you able to do it now? It is just a simple, like for every no, you have to for every time you create a circuit, you have to do this include thing. You have to click that dot op uh, thing, and then you have to do this. Yeah, for each tab, like on each tab you will create one circuit. So for one particular tab you have to do it once. For example, see in this tab I have shown this. Everyone can see that. Then in this tab also I have written it. Even in this tab, everywhere, see. I hope that that is clear. So shall I proceed? Anyone who is not able to come this far, that is dot include this thing whatever I did right now, please react in some other way, like try to show some sad symbol. There is a sad symbol here. So what is the issue that you're facing? I don't understand. If there is an issue, you can type in the chat box. Kirtivasan will be there to reply. I will just proceed with the next part because we are running short on time. So after doing this, you have to go to this particular tab which is labeled as component. You can see it. This is there are so many options available here. You have to choose the option which looks like an AND gate. So this is the component option. Just click it, and here you will see so many different things that you can choose from. Like these are the components that LTSpice is offering us that we can use in our circuits. What we need is an op amp. LM741 is an op amp model. So choose this op amp. I'm sure you can see it on my screen. Click OK and go to the end. Scroll to the end of this section. There you will see an option called op amp 2. This is a general thing. You have to give it a value name. Like this op amp doesn't correspond to any industrial op amp that is available as an IC. So if you use this general purpose op amp and click OK, you get the symbol here. So after inserting the symbol, you have to make it work like LM741 op amp. LM741 is one of the ones op amps which is used in the industry in the form of an IC. We want to use that op amp in this workshop. So far so good. Yeah. So after this, this is a general purpose op amp. You have to make it work like 741. So far you just included the library file. Now if you give that value to this op amp, it will start working as LM741. So just right click on this op amp triangle. You get this dialog box. Everyone can see the dialog box. Yes. So in that you can change the value to LM741/NS. This is given in the demo, as given in the demo. If you just need to type this, and so after clicking OK, this op amp is now the LM741, which is the one which is generally used in labs and in our college. This is the op amp that we use in our college in general. So this op amp now functions as an LM741 op amp. Yes. So all good. So this is the main thing that you are supposed to do before the workshop. By watching a video demo, I had to sit and explain it again. So okay, now it's okay, right? Yes, thank you. So Everyone can see the PPT, right? Yeah. So today we will be covering few circuits, and you will learn the different functionalities of LT-Spice. So what all you can do on LT-Spice, you can see how powerful LT-Spice will be, and probably next semester you may also, some of you may also do lab on LT-Spice, I'm pretty sure. So it will be really useful to understand the total, I mean the relevant stuff. At least there are so many things that we cannot explore, but at least the relevant stuff we'll try to cover today in the limited time that we have. So we'll just show different circuits. So the first one we want to show is a voltage divider. So all of you know what a voltage divider is, I'm sure, right? So it is just a circuit that does the division of voltage at a node. So let us see how, like I expect all of you to design this voltage divider. Okay, so here you can see the voltage divider. Basically, how did I make it? If you ask that question, on top you can see a resistor. You can see this option of resistor. Can you see this? You can click that and place the resistor wherever you want. I placed one resistor. I can place the other resistor and so on. So now after adding the resistor, you can also add components like the voltage source. So go to components and go to the end of components. In the end, you will get an option called, you scroll to the end. There you get an option called voltage, and this is the symbol that you can see. So if you click on OK, you get the voltage symbol. Fine. And to connect the different nodes, you have to use this option. You can see a pencil in the options available. There's a pencil. So if you click on the pencil, you get this nice cursor where you can click at any point and then draw wires like this. And then to like if you want to turn the wire at some point, you can just click at that point, and the wire will always be terminated at a electrical terminal of any component. So I started from the positive terminal of the voltage source, and I can end at the resistor. So this is how I create a circuit. I'm connecting a voltage source to a resistor. I hope that is clear. Any doubts in how to connect components on LT-Spice? If there is any doubt, you can ask on the chat box. Okay, so I'll proceed. So this is how you connect, and obviously you need to add a ground in the circuit. So here beside the pencil, there's a ground option. So you will get this ground symbol, and you can again attach it to any electrical terminal. I'm attaching it to the negative terminal of the voltage source and the resistor here, and so on. So this way I can connect the components. In case I want to remove some component, let us say I don't want this resistor. So to remove the component, there's a scissor symbol here. You can see where my mouse is pointing to, named cut. It's called the cut. So just click on that, and after clicking on that, you can see a scissors shaped cursor. Then you can click on anywhere, any component that you want to remove. If say I want to remove this particular resistor, I can click on it, it disappears. I can remove this, I can remove this ground, I can remove these wires one by one. All I'm left with is the voltage source. So the default cursor in LT-Spice, you might have observed, is to drag. See, this is the plus cursor. It is used to drag the entire screen like this, or zoom in, zoom out by using the scroll option. So you can zoom in and zoom out and drag the circuit using the default cursor that is available. So far we have seen the deleting option and the connection option and other stuff. You can also I'll talk about the other stuff later. So this is your voltage divider. So by now I'm pretty sure all of you have made the voltage divider at your end. Okay, cool. Now you have to test the voltage divider. So obviously based on the values that you gave to the voltage source, and yeah, so before that we have to give values to this voltage source. For that you have to right click on this voltage source. Just right click and you get a option saying DC value and the series resistance that you want to add in it. So if you just leave it blank, it is taken as 0. You don't need to type 0 explicitly. You just need to leave it blank, and in the DC value place you just need to type 10. So this now acts as a 10 volt DC source. Same way with the resistors, just right click on the resistor. It will show you a box where you can type the resistance value, the tolerance, and the power rating, etc. We don't really need to work with tolerance and power rating right now, so just leave it blank. Just type the resistance value that you want, that is 2k. I have 2k and 8k, so the expected output that I should see at the end voltage divider should be 8 volts. So clear with typing the values to the components. Initially there will be so many things to learn, then slowly it will become quite obvious. So now we need to see the output voltage. For that we need to simulate the circuit, obviously. So on top you can see an option named simulate. So you can click on it and do the edit simulation command. That's the first thing you have to do. Okay. So if you click on the edit simulation command, here you can see so many different options: transient analysis, AC analysis, DC sweep, noise, DC transfer, characteristics, operating point. We will go through them one by one. There's no hurry. So as of now I'll tell what is transient analysis. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what is a transient analysis. Like if you have any circuit in general, the analysis which refers to like from minus infinity to infinity, whatever values of voltages and currents that you're calculating normally is the transient analysis. Like if you take an RC circuit for example, the expression you get 1 minus e power minus t by tau whole times v naught, that is the transient voltage that you get across the capacitor. So that is the transient analysis. So here the main thing that is important in transient analysis is stop time. The rest are not really important as of now, so we'll just talk about stop time today. So for this particular circuit, obviously doesn't have any time dependence. There is a constant voltage source, there is a constant resistance on both sides, so there is no time dependence. So you can click any value of time that you want. I am clicking 10 milliseconds here. For 10 milliseconds you just need to type 10 m. M refers to milli, and the units obviously it will take care on its own, because the dialog box itself is named stop time, so it knows that the units are in seconds. So just type 10 m and then click OK. Then you get this command. You can again place it anywhere on the screen, just like the you just did before. Now you can again click on the simulate option and click run. This run option is also available outside without without even clicking the simulate option. You can see a small stick man running here. So that is the run option. So after giving the simulate command in LTSpice, before simulating you always need to give what kind of simulation you want to do. This is a transient simulation. At the same time I can see an AC, I can request for an AC simulation or a DC simulation. There are many things that we will be seeing. So as of now for transient simulation I'm clicking run. So just one sec. Yeah. So basically if you open just one tab at a time, you will see the thing that you will see will look exactly like this. Since I opened too many tabs at once, they were like the screen was really messy. But if you open one tab at once, at a time. So you will see on top, you will see the simulation wave window, and on the bottom you will see your circuit. So to get the output at any point, you just need to go to the circuit, and then you can see your cursor changes when you approach a node. You can see that your cursor is changing into the something in red color. That is basically your probes of the oscilloscope. So if I click on this, I am supposed to get 10 volts. That's what I'm getting here. You can see 10 volts is the output, DC, completely DC, and the output here should be 8. See, this is 8. You can see this is the 8 volt DC value of this particular point, 8 volts, and this particular point is the 10 volt DC value. So I hope everyone has done this.
Like Shrikari, like let them have some time so that they'll try on their own and they'll get back to you.
Yes.
And any queries, or if you want to speak out also, you could post that in this thing. We would like to invite you to the stage and you could ask a doubt openly.
Yes. How to remove a particular device? So I'll show it. You can ask your questions like this, and I'll show it. So there is a scissor option here. You can see there's a scissor named. If you place your cursor on it, it says cut. So that if you click on that, and like I'll add a component for you. Let us say I'm adding a voltage source here. Now it is useless. I don't want to use it. So click on the scissor. You can see my cursor has changed into a scissor shape. If I click on this, it disappears. And to shift, now this is still in the cutting mode. Okay, so I cannot touch any other part in my circuit. If I touch it, then it will just disappear. So to go back to the like original cursor, you can just click right, you can just do the right click. So if I do the right click, it returns to the original cursor. So whatever you do to return to the default cursor, you can click on right click. Is that okay? Missing node. Are you sure you you know placed your probes at that point? Stop time. Stop time is basically the time at which this particular thing will stop doing the transient analysis. Yes, basically the time you will run the simulation. You go to simulate, do the edit simulation command. There you get different options. One of the first option is transient option. There just type any value. As of now you can type any value because this is DC. Just type 10 milli, and then you get the tran command automatically. Like after typing this, just click OK. You get the tran command automatically.
Uh,
Missing cathode node. You're supposed to, are you sure that you designed your circuit exactly like this and then put the probes at that point? It is an oscilloscope probe, so you are supposed to touch the you have to click on that particular node where you need the output. I need the output at this node. I'm clicking on it. I'm getting 8 volts output. It's open, right? The editing circuit is open just below. You can see on my screen that it is open below. You can close the simulation window if you want. You are already in that place where missing current value for include. There is no include. Can you just see my screen right now? There is no include anywhere. Then how are you getting include? Yeah, man, obviously nothing will happen to see. This is a DC source. Does DC have time? DC doesn't have any notion of time. It will show 8 volts till the eternity, like till the world ends. After getting the tran command, go to run. There is a small boy running, like you can see in that okay, you go to simulate, click on simulate, and the first option you see is run. Just click on it. For your kind information, even in your lab you are never going to find current. What compilation? I don't understand. That is the probe. That is the oscilloscope probe. Like these are different animation things that is helping you to understand.
And oscilloscope, function generators, these are the terms we'll be commonly using it. You'll learn about it soon, like not right now. We have planned something for that, but just consider that oscilloscope is an instrument which could measure voltages, like see the voltages in a graph, like as shown here.
I'm
Okay,
pretty
and
sure all
function
of you. Continue.
and function generator is something which is used to give input, like instead of a DC source, if you want to give a AC source, function generator helps us. And oscilloscope is used to take the output readings. So so for most know it, basically the first year, right, since you guys are new, that's why you are facing this small trouble in understanding them. You'll get to know as the workshop moves on.
So there is no trouble in understanding. You all must have seen what a multimeter is in your physics lab in 12th, 11th and 12th. Everyone knows what a multimeter is. So at the end of multimeter, you see two probes with which you try to measure something on a circuit on breadboard. So these are those probes, that the red color that you're seeing. If you observe closely, that's what it looks like. And wherever you place the probe, you get the output. And you never get current output in an oscilloscope. You always get voltage. Based on voltage, you have to calculate current on it on your own. So I guess I'll be moving on with the next circuit. Is it okay? Shall I go on to the next circuit? Okay. Thank you. Ground thing. What do you mean by ground thing? Moving the component. Okay, that's a good question. That is a good question. I'll show you how to move. I'll just show it right now. Okay, in a few minutes. Please wait. So in the meantime, you can see this particular circuit. Everyone knows what an half wave rectifier is. I guess you must have studied in your class 12. This is basically used in power electronics, where you want to convert a coming in AC signal into DC signal. Okay, so we are not doing the DC part, etc. Uh, I'll show them. So as of now, we'll just see examples. So the input AC signal is then converted into DC. I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain this particular circuit. It is quite clear. The diode is off when this particular voltage, this voltage is more than the other one, and like forward bias, reverse bias, all these things are quite clear to you. So I'll directly show LT Spice screen. There I'll be showing how to move, since someone asked. That is a good question. So this is my old circuit. Now I need to go to the next one. Yes. So all of you can see the circuit here. This is the uh, rectifier. So here, before I show anything else, here you can see two hand options. After the pencil, after like a few components after the pencil, you can see the hand options. One is move, one is drag. I encourage you to click on both and try to see what they do. Let us say I click on move. Okay, so I click on this. Now I can move it anywhere. You see this? Move it anywhere and place it anywhere. I can do it again. Move it and bring it back. Okay, if it is drag, this is the difference. Does everyone understand the difference between move and drag right now? If you do move, the entire component will come out and you can place it anywhere else. If you do drag, then it will not be disconnected from the circuit. You can just drag the entire thing. Okay, so I appreciate that question. And one more thing, while adding a diode, I'll show you, or some other component. Yeah, so while adding a diode, this is how you get the diode. I'm pretty sure all of you get it up, like in the vertical direction. So after you get the diode like this, there are two operations that you can do. Okay, one, you can do control R. Control R will rotate this diode. I'll just show you. Control R has rotated it in the clockwise direction. Okay, and control E will do the mirror image. Nice, right? So control E is doing the mirror image and control R is doing the rotation, clockwise direction. Okay, so that is quite, now it is clear, I guess, how to rotate components. Okay, so now same way, quickly please, take a voltage source. Forget about this sign. Forget about this sign. Just like how you created the voltage divider, please create this circuit quickly. Please design it right now. And after designing, please throw a like symbol. Same way, I'll tell you what sign is later. As of now, just quickly design this circuit. And set the resistance values as well. I'll tell you how to set the voltage value. Okay, so I'll proceed with the thing right now. So I'm pretty sure all of you must have got the previous DC, same, like you must have got the DC source. So after I'll place the DC source myself. So this is the DC source that everyone got. So after you get this, please right click on it. Last time I told you to enter a DC value inside this box, but now I tell you to go to this advanced option that you see here. So after clicking on advanced, here you can see there are so many different things that you can use. As of now, we'll tell you how to use the sign one. We'll see other things later. So if you click on the sign, so yeah, on the function side, that is on the left side, you can see an option named sign. So after clicking on sign, you get these boxes where you can fill. So the DC offset, I'm pretty sure each you know the meaning of each of these terms. This is basic math. So DC offset, we want the DC offset should be 0, so that this circuit is, the signal is symmetric about 0. And the amplitude, this is the peak amplitude. So if I type 10 here, my signal will go from -10 to 10. So it will be 20 volt peak to peak. If I type 10 here, the voltage output will be 20 volt peak to peak. Frequency, you know what it is, just type whatever you want. And the other options, theta, phi being the phase, and then all these things you can type. Theta and t delay are not really necessary right now. So all you can just do is, as of now, just type DC offset should be 0, amplitude to be some value you want, any value you want, and frequency any interesting value that you like. Here I typed 1k. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure everyone got the sine signal. DC offset is basically the like the sine should oscillate about some point, right? If it is oscillating about 0, if it is symmetric about 0, then the DC offset is 0. If the sine wave is symmetric about 2, then it is 2. Yeah. Now after doing this, what is the next thing that you have to do? Simulate it. Same way like you did last time. But this time you cannot type now it depends on your choice. You gave 1k as the frequency, so you know, like you know the time for which, you know the time period of the sine wave. Now 1k, in the sense the time period will be 1 by 1k. So based on that, you have to type appropriate values in the stop time of transient analysis. I'm expecting you to do transient analysis again. Okay, so in transient analysis you have to type some reasonable value. So if yes, phi is fine. Yeah, if I do for 1 second, let us say I'm doing for 1 second. Okay, you will see how bad it is. See, this is so messy. You cannot get anything from this. So that's the reason you're supposed to set some proper value, some value based on your common sense. So I'm going to choose, someone said 5, so I'm going to choose 5. Now let me simulate again. Now this is fine, this is good. So this is the input. Let us see what the output will be at the end of the resistor. Nice, right? So this is what you see at the end of output of a half wave rectifier. So and it matches with what you learned in your theory. So this is the answer. Fine. Yeah, you also are supposed to do it. Don't just look at my screen. Only if you do, you will learn how to use this. Okay, so
There is also extra task if you want. You could try, like you would have read about if you add a capacitor in parallel with this resistor, you will be able to get a almost DC output. You could try that also and check whether you are getting that.
yeah, you try it on your own. I want to see.
Anyone who finishes first could like say it. We would like we would like to invite him to the stage and he could share his screen. Yeah.
Yes. Anyone who has finished it, I'm stopping the screen sharing. Please add a capacitor. That value you have to decide it on your own, and please anyone can do it. FB voltage of the diode. As of now, you I think better remain unconcerned with that. You can actually change it. Uh, that you forget it as of now. As of now, how much is it showing? It is showing 1.7, right? It is showing zero point 0.7. So let it be 0.7 Pawan. Okay. Adding AC voltage. So how did I do AC voltage? I went to this. First you added normal voltage. Done. Then please share your screen. Please share your screen.
Uh, I have to invite. I have to invite him to the stage, Shrikant. Yeah, just give me a minute.
Yeah, he will do the thing. In the meantime, Pawan Kalyan, are you clear with adding AC voltage? You add the normal DC voltage and then click advanced. There you get so many options to add different types of voltages.
Yeah, I have invited him to the stage. Okay, now you could share your screen, Yata. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, I have a question, sir. Yes, sir. Say that.
Nice.
Yeah, we are able to see. We are able to see. You could carry on.
Sir, done.
To rotate components, please do Control R, Control E.
Sir, I
Sh-
done it. Means, yeah.
show your circuit once again.
Sir, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Fine. It's better, but yeah, yeah, fine. Fine. Great, Yata. It's nice. Yeah.
भैया bro कुछ भी. Thank you, Yata. That was sign command. As I said, please add the voltage that you added before for creating the voltage divider. Then click right click on it and then click advanced. There is an option called advanced. In that there are so many different things, and there is one that says sign. So click on that and enter the values. Everyone clear with rectifier? One of the attendees themselves got the DC output as well, so that's really interesting. And so if everyone is done with this, we'll go to the next one. Does anyone have any doubt? Please ask in the chat box.
DC offset is something like if you're giving an AC signal and if you are getting an answer as AC signal plus some DC signal, then the DC value is called DC offset. Like if you're having pi plus 3 sin omega t, the pi is called the DC offset.
Run the simulation. You just need to go click on, there is an option called simulate at the top. Click on it and there is an first option is called run. Just click on run. That's it. Linear curve. After
You could
clicking sign,
maybe you would have had a short time interval, like try to give a bigger time run, like stop time. You'll be able to see maybe the shorter time interval you'll be covering till the rise time only. You'll be seeing the rise time. There are chances that you'll be seeing only the rise time, so try to increase the stop time.
while hovering over any component, the cursor changes symbol. That is not necessary. It is just a different graphical user interfaces that it is providing us by changing the cursor. I mean, the usual cursor that you see is different from the one that you see during simulation to tell you that the simulation is underway. So it's a very different way of showing that it is working right now. So that's not really necessary. So shall I proceed with the next circuit, or is everyone okay? Yeah. So if there is any doubt, you can ask, and Kirti and Chandrakant will be there to help you. So we'll go to the next circuit, that is the unity gain buffer. I am sure all of you have. I asked at the beginning that you are supposed to know op amp. So this is where op amps coming to picture. So I'm sure all of you have. Op amp was just taught. So how far have you learned? Like how much do you know about the op amp? Can one of you just type? Okay. So you know about a non-inverting and inverting amplifier. That is clear, right? Yes, that is more than sufficient. Okay. I don't think you know about integrator and differentiator. Okay, fine. We will be skipping that. So yeah, if you are clear with a non-inverting amplifier and inverting amplifier, that is more than sufficient. Okay, integrator, we'll see. If you are not really comfortable, we'll skip, or else we can do it. That's not an issue. So next, this is the unity gain buffer. I'm sure everyone must have seen this circuit. Yes, this is basically a non-inverting amplifier with no resistors, right? Yes, so there is no resistor, and you're directly connecting it, and this is so this circuit is mainly used to as a buffer. Buffer is basically like it gives the same output as the input. So this is used to drive loads, where and of course, if um, does everyone know why buffers are used? Did they teach you why they are used?
Eh, this question could be answered by second yearites. Second yearites must be knowing more, so like they could try. You could raise your hand. We have this raise hand feature also. So
Any second year, please raise your hand and then explain this term. Why do we need a buffer? None of you know why do you need a buffer? Yeah, precisely. So very good. Basically, if you wanted to give the same voltage, you can directly connect the node. Like if you wanted V out, V in at the V out, you can directly connect from V in to V out. But what if you had some component at V out? Let us say you have resistance, or you have yes, basically not disturbing the circuit. If you have a buffer in between, it will not draw any current. Let us say it's an ideal one. It will not draw any current. So basically, whatever you keep at the output as a load, the voltage will not change. So that the current will also be like everything will be proper. Like you don't the circuit will not be disturbed, as one of your friends said. So that is the reason we use a buffer. Um, so this is about buffer. I don't want to um, speak much on op amp. It will just confuse you guys. So let us look at this next circuit, inverting amplifier. Everyone seen this circuit before? Yes. So basically, it's an amplifier which provides a gain, but also changes the phase. It gives a negative output at the output terminal. Fine, that is also quite clear. The expression is written here, minus RF by R1. Your teachers must have taught you how to derive that expression. So that is also quite clear. So next thing is the non-inverting amplifier. This is also very clear. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how a non-inverting amplifier works. The gain expression is given by 1 plus R1 by R2. So everyone okay with these three circuits. Now let us see how these three circuits work in a simulation. So yeah, before you do this, I expect all of you to do the dot include thing right now, because you are going to use an op amp right now. All of you, I'm pretty sure all of you are simulating it, I guess, parallelly when I'm teaching you. So please keep the dot include and whatever steps I told at the beginning, keep it ready, and please add op amps in your screen. I'll show you my screen. So you can see my screen here. There I've included the 741 library file. Yes, Omkar Chaudhary. No, it looks so dirty because I made it like that. So you please follow what is given in the slides, like what we have showed just now. Uh, like if you have a pen and paper, uh, you want to go back and see the circuits of the three circuits that I just showed. Does anyone go want to see them and note them? Yes. Please call us bro, or at least by my name or bhaiya or anything is fine. No sir. Yeah. Please draw this circuit and keep it with you. I did all three circuits in one just to avoid the hassle. Yes. I'll tell you all that. Please write down the uh, draw the circuit and keep it as of now, so that you know you will not get confused. This is the next circuit, and this is the last one. Does everyone second one? Yeah. Everyone drawn it on your paper? Done. Please everyone show a thumbs up if you are done copying. Is there any way to show all three at once? Now it's better, right? You can see all three at once. Done? Yeah, so I'll go to LT Spice now. Um, I'll tell you. Okay, these three basically are the same circuits that you just copied. I connected them in such a way which looks really weird. So you have to do all those steps that you have done in the beginning. That is, first do the dot op and then include the 741 file. Then go to components, go to op amps, and go to the end of op amps. There click on op amp 2 and press OK. Here you get an op amp, and then right click on the op amp, enter the values 7 LM741/NS. This is the value that you are not supposed to enter, so that it works like the LM741 op amp, and click OK. This is your op amp now. You are supposed to use the LM741 op amp. Okay, all okay with this, right? With the LM741. So why don't and everyone knows what these two other symbols mean. The one at the these two symbols are the inverting and non-inverting terminal of the op amp. The other two plus and minus symbols, everyone knows what they mean, right? Does everyone know what those plus and minus symbol mean on top of the op amp? Yes, VCC and minus VCC. Basically, though, yeah, you must have been taught this. This is the first thing that someone teaches while teaching op amp. An op amp is not available for all voltages. The working of an op amp depends on the input voltage, input supply that you give. Like you can take them as your battery. Like to run a toy car, you're supposed to insert batteries. So to run an op amp, you're supposed to insert a battery in the form of those plus and minus. You can take it like that. So as I showed, you can just add plus 12 and minus 12. Okay, I'm sure out there's no doubt in adding the voltage supply, that is plus 12 and minus 12. I'm pretty sure there will be no doubt while connecting the terminals of op amp as well. The resistor values, to rotate the resistor values, you have to click Control R, Control E to mirror, Control R to rotate, and to give sine input as well. I'm pretty sure you will have no problem in doing that. So I'll just wait for some time. Please connect the circuit, and someone who finishes the circuit, show again how to add value to plus minus 12 plus 12. So you know how to add a voltage source, right? You go to go to components, and go to the end of components. This is the components you see. Go to the end, scroll to the end. There you will see an option called voltage. This is the symbol. Click on OK and place it anywhere you like. And then right click on it and type the value plus 12 or minus 12. Okay. So can someone who finished drawing the unity gain buffer please demonstrate? I need 3 different volunteers for each circuit. Yeah, please. All of you are supposed to draw all 3. Okay, so as of now, just for demonstration, okay, Omkar, you will do the third one. Please do it quickly and show. And I need 2 other volunteers for the first and second circuit as well. And then finally you have to do the transient analysis. That is quite obvious in the end. Okay. I'll stop sharing my screen. Or okay, I'll leave it like this. for reference.
Okay, who will be doing the Unity buffer now? Then
Kirti, please manage whoever wants to do this, and please tell them on stage.
yeah, yeah, Srikant. And transient analysis, it is in a
Hello.
circuit.
A transient analysis in the sense like you would have studied the series RC circuit. So like for charging a RC circuit, like the voltage goes from 0 to VCC. So the in between time, like for 2 3 time constant, it charges to VCC. So steady state in the sense at time in general we say at time t equal to infinite or at time t equal to very very greater than time constant. And the transient in the sense like the overall like it will show everything like how it changes from 0 to VCC. And in steady state it will directly show the VCC.
Please don't do what I'm doing right now. I'm just playing around. Please don't. Please ignore all that. I'll unshare my screen. Okay, anyone done with any one circuit? What do you mean change the voltage to V in and V out? That I told you that is whatever I was doing just for fun. Don't do all that. Decrease the size of a component. That is interesting. I never really felt it to be necessary. Is it necessary? He's not referring to zoom out. No, don't think about V out and all that. Just place your oscilloscope probe on the output. That's it. I just did that for fun. If you are referring to what I did, then yeah, I'll share.
Whatever we are getting output or whatever we are trying here is everything is with respect to LM741. So our op-amps, different op-amps will have different characteristics. So trying out with different op-amps may result in some other output characteristics. So it's better to stick on with LM741 itself.
See, LM741 is the one that will be using in your labs, in your if you come to club while doing if you come to club at some point uh, in the future. So there also we'll be using the same thing. One sec, I'll just be.
Yeah. So once if you have finished the circuit, just give simulate and by default it will show you the transient solution only. So anyone ready with either one of the circuit, at least they could share the screen. Maybe you wouldn't have included the LM741 this thing. Maybe you did you include that file, include the mod file. Uh, Make sure that you enter the correct location. Like don't forget to give lm741.mod everything in caps. Those things and all check it once. Yeah, but you won't get LM741 in the copied path, right? You have to type on your own idea. Those that thing. Like whatever you're copying, it won't have LM741, right? You have to type on your own. Did you type it or type that part or okay, fine. So you're getting I'm opening it.
एक सेकंड में डिस्कनेक्ट कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah, okay. You could share your screen right now. Like you could share whatever output you got.
It says other users already sharing screen. Hello, भैया.
Yeah, just a minute. Wait. Streaker, stop sharing your screen, like so that he could share your he could share his screen. Streak. Okay, he's having some internet issue. I think so.
Yeah, I
Like
got
still
it.
you're yeah. Stop sharing your screen.
Am I still sharing my screen?
Don't know. Then you're not able to share your screen, Umka.
Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Omkar, why haven't you added any ground to the sources?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So now I just run, right?
You haven't added the DC output, the DC input power to the terminals.
Yeah, but in the third one, there's only. That's what I was asking. How do I change this to V in and V out?
I'll show you mine. Please stop sharing your screen. Here you can see this is the third circuit. This is the third circuit, and you can
We are
see
not
I
able to
added
see your
plus
screen.
The screen is not visible.
The screen is not visible.
Why? I think I shared it, right? Is it visible?
No, it's not visible.
I think it's because I got disconnected in between. Now I'm not able to share. Great.
Any issue? Like it's
Something is wrong. I'm not able to share my screen.
okay, fine. So you need to include that files because you want to use LM741. It's the op amp. That's what we use for op amp. So that's why you need to include that file, and it's not inbuilt with the LT spice. We have to download it separately and use it. That's why we include that file. Okay, Umka, you share your screen. We'll see. Uh,
Is it visible?
yeah, it's visible. Your screen is.
Yeah. So what do I change here?
Yeah, you first of all you have to give plus VCC and BE to the op amp. You didn't
The-
do that.
These
Yeah,
ones.
that is remaining, and you're not supposed to connect. See, this is output terminal, right? The point where the wire comes from the pointed terminal. That's output terminal. So if you connect a voltage source there, so whatever output you are giving, it will be like overridden by this input voltage, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is why I was confused. I was like, what do I keep for V out here?
No, you don't keep a V out. What you do is when you give simulate, you'll get a probe, right? You just have to attach the probe there. That's it.
Okay. So I keep nothing here.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you keep nothing there right now. You have to give the power of BCC and BE for the op amp now.
Okay. Like this. Hello.
Yeah, just and then ground the negative terminal, and similarly, it's not necessary. You should no, not there. I'm saying about the DC voltage source, the top.
Here.
Yeah, like
Why is it not rotating? Huh. And here I add one more.
yeah.
Like this.
Now you just have to give a values to it, like
Uh,
respective values.
what values do I give?
You could give plus 15 here and minus 15 down.
Okay.
Now run
Now I
this
just run it.
circuit. Yeah. It's the output signal and input signal. Keep one at the input signal. You will be able. Then only you will be able to observe. Could you see the amplification happen?
Yeah.
This amplification has happened, but the phase has been conserved.
So this is non-inverting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody is clear, right? Emoji would do good. If anyone has doubt, you could ask in the chat section, and if you are clear, your thumbs up would do good. Yeah.
So what happens if I increase the value? If I keep -20, will the peak change?
No, actually, what does it does? It means, like, consider you are giving a voltage of 1 volt as an input. 1 volt peak to peak sine wave is going, and you have designed the circuit as gain as 100. So what do you get as output? You should get 100 volts peak to peak, right?
Yeah.
But where do you get that 100 volts peak to peak from? Like, you can't simply just by input signal, you won't get the amplification. There should be some other source which should be giving the that much voltage, right? Because
Yeah.
op amp is just like, it's a device. It can't generate its own power like that. So it comes from the above VCC and VE only will be able to give it. So if you get 100 as output, like theoretically 100, but its maximum voltage will be 15, right? As we have 12, right? You are given 12 right here. 12
Yeah.
or 15.
15.
So whenever it crosses 15, it will truncate it. So you will get maybe you could try giving here higher input voltages. You will be able to see that. Like, the gain, right? Gain is around 2, right? So
Yeah.
try giving,
Hello, like change the resistance value, like from
like
Which
if you want, the input voltage value. You could change the input voltage value.
and this one?
Yeah.
no,
Change it.
yeah. See, no need to take it to 50 minus 50. Keep it at 15. Only just change the input value.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do I change this to?
To
10.
16,
Change it
17.
okay, 16, 17.
And
60?
not really. Like 8 or 9 also it will be fine. Gain
10.
is
Keep it 10. Keep it 10. Keep
keep
it
it
10.
10.
Since the gain is 2.
Yeah, okay. And what do I change the resistor to?
And
Nothing. No need.
that is same.
See, here your input is 10 to 10 peak and gain is 2. So theoretically it should go to like plus 20 and minus 20. But at max you can give only, like, you have only plus 15 to minus 15. So like, see how the output will be. Just run it and you will see.
See, could you see the truncation happening?
Yeah.
And so like, see, after 15, like at max it will be sinusoidal up to 15. After that it will be truncated at 15, and whenever the value goes down to 15, it will be sinusoidal, like that. Same for
Okay.
Everybody understood this, right? How basic op amp is working
So
practically.
if I change the value from 2 to something, it will change the gain.
Yeah. And maybe there are chances that again it will come back to normal, proper output you will get if you change the values correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, if you will change the gain to less than 1.5, it will be perfect. Like
But change it to 20, keep 20, you may be able to see 20K or something.
20K.
yeah.
See, it is 1 plus RF by RB, right? So here it is like 1 plus 1 by 10. It's 1.1 only the gain is right now. So that's why you'll be able to see just a small increase in output voltage. That's it.
So 11 volts will be
Yeah.
okay.
You got it? Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine then. Who has done the? Yeah, you could stop sharing this. Who has done the other 2 experiments? Anyone will anyone
Yatharth.
ready for showing their? Yatharth just now he showed. That's why I'm like waiting for, if someone else did, they could show, like, or if no one shows up, then Yatharth only has to show.
Yeah, please. I mean, we are expecting you to do the thing properly.
Yeah.
So
Hello, like yes, like if you are having any problems, like you can share the screen, like we can rectify it and like we can show it. Like if you are still stuck in the circuit, like you can show it.
Preeti, what do you say? Do you want to see his screen?
Okay, we'll see what is the problem with him. I guess. Wait. Okay, wait. I'll invite him to the stage. Yeah, Pawan, you could you wanna
Yeah, I'll share screen. Should I share the screen?
yeah, you could share your screen.
Well, I've done all three at once. So this is the input voltage for the op amps, and this is the inverting op amp with a gain 2, and this is the
Pawan,
non-inverting with gain 2.
okay, Pawan, it would be better if you increase the time to 10 milliseconds. Like 1 millisecond is just showing one graph, right? It would be nice if we show it as 10 milliseconds. Like you'll be able to see 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, fine, great. It's good, awesome.
Shall I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you finished all the three. Fine, great.
Kirti, what about this problem? They are not able to do the dot of
Yeah.
include.
Wait, I'll now I'm inviting Chiranjit Mishra to the stage. I want him to show the screen. Wait, okay, Chiranjit, are you there in the stage now? He's been accepted. He's there in the stage. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. Shall I
Yeah,
show you my screen?
yeah.
Is it visible?
Wait, it will come. Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
No, still it didn't come. Yeah, just give some time. It will come, I guess. Did you give share your screen this
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. I'm sharing my entire screen. It's not coming.
No, till now it is not coming. No, it's not.
Yeah, is it coming now? Hello.
No, it's not. It's not visible. Okay, it's coming right now. It's coming right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's coming. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was trying to do the unitary, but if I try to run the program, it's showing that could not open include file the electron like this.
Okay, show where you have stored the LMs. It's 741, right? You are given 740. Isn't it 741?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'll. I missed that. Is it fine now? Like,
Run the circuit now. Run the circuit.
yeah, coming this.
LM741. It's LM741, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That.
Still you have not completed the circuit. Like the open positive terminal is not. I think it should be grounded, so that you have not completed. But still, see, you are able to run the circuit, so it's working for you right now.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
guess for others who did, like, they didn't get the output like the running window, maybe
Yeah.
you could have done similar mistake like him. There are chances that you could have made some small mistake. Try to rectify it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, fine.
So, what's the issue with my circuit? What have I not done?
Like op-amp positive terminal is left free. Like for a unit buffer, I think there should be a grounded in the positive terminal should be grounded, I think, sir. Not
No,
sure with this.
both of them are grounded, I guess.
No, I'm saying the positive
Hello?
terminal
Like
of.
positive is given side like negative voltage, I think so. Like just check
Oh,
the positive term.
yeah. That may be
Yeah.
the case. Maybe, yeah. Okay.
You can change the value directly to negative, like it will be automatically positive.
Okay. Sir,
Like just change.
but rest all is fine.
हाँ like नीचे वाला -15 yeah. Just change the upper one to -15 also.
But the negative terminal of the OP amp, I've given it -15 only, and the above one I've given it to be 15.
See, the above one, see the below one, it's -15, it's correct. The above
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
you are given 15, but the polarity is opposite. Like the polarity of the battery
Okay.
is opposite, so it's
Yeah.
acting like -15.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, thank you.
Fine, Srikar. Shall we move? Shall we guys move on to the next topic? Is it fine? Like
Yes,
everyone
we
is with us
can.
only, right? No one got.
Kirti, like ask any other like who is facing similar problems, maybe like.
Anyone else facing problems here? Everyone is fine, right? We'll be moving to the next topic then. Okay, fine. So I assume like everyone is with us only. Like no. So yeah, we'll move on to the next topic. Srikar, you can't share your screen now. Should I share my screen then?
I'm trying. I hate internet.
Kirti, like you can share like
Okay, fine.
he,
I'll share my.
like he is having internet issues. I think so. Like
You share it, man.
Yeah, we could hear you.
yeah,
You can hear me, but not able to find. It's fine. Leave it. Share your screen.
So moving on, we are in differentiators. we'll be seeing differentiators and integrators. We don't want to go in deep with this thing. We just want to say that what it does. Like, you know about integration function, right? Like in what integration and differentiation does to any function. That is what this circuit will also be doing to the input signal. So input signal will be considered as a function, and that function, if we pass it through a differentiator, you will get a differentiated form of the input signal. So basically, if you are giving a sine wave, you will get a cos wave. If you are giving a triangular signal, you will be getting a square signal. Yeah. So wait. So for me, I have to listen. So you guys are able to see, right? So I'll be sharing my. This is the circuit for differentiator. So you just have to note that there's an input, and it will be connected to a capacitor, and a resistor will be there, and the values, like here actually there is a way to find what value of capacitance and what value of resistance should be used. That you learn it when your professor is teaching. We just want to show, like, if you put a capacitor and resistor in a op-amp in a certain manner, you will be able to get a differentiated waveform. So yeah, I'll just show you the output here. Yeah, you could see here uh, so you could see here, I'm pinning this is my input signal. The input signal, you could see that it is a square wave. Like, you could see that, oh, it's positive 1 volt and negative 1 volt at each interval.
Kirti,
And
decrease the range. I think so. Like decrease the range.
yeah, wait. So
1 millisecond. One.
okay, fine.
Let's see. Like,
Yeah, right, it's fine. So, and this will be my output signal. So you could see here, it is similar to a it's a pulse. It's similar to a pulse. You could see, like, it is having a very high slope, and it's varying tremendously in the this part. So it's similar to an impulse function. Like, you know that if you differentiate a square wave, you will get an impulse function. And I'll show you what will you get if you give a sine wave. Wait, I have to increase the. Well, you could see here. So the green wave is the input signal, and the blue curve is the output signal. And initially you are getting this pattern because Chandrakant, could you mute yourself? It's like too noisy from your side. Okay, so blue wave is the output signal. So initially there is some weird pattern you will notice. It is called it's called a transient response. And at the end, you could see near the 10 milliseconds, 9 milliseconds, you could see a proper waveform. That is called steady state output. And initially what you are getting is transient output. As you know that capacitor charging and discharging is there, like, you will get a transient response initially, and a transient response is something which will decay with the time flow. As the time passes, it will decay. So you will not be able to see at this end, you won't be having any transient response input signal, whereas it's only steady state response. So that's what. So I guess you are clear with what you are getting. See, you could see here, it's a sine. If this is the sine wave, and at maximum point, wait, there is a way. You could see that it's similar to a cos wave, like it's been shifted. It is shifted by 90 degrees, which means it's a cos wave only. Like, yeah, so a differentiation of sine wave is cos, so you are getting this cos as the output. So this is what a differentiator does. We'll give you these things, like like these things we are just showing to you. Like, since you have said that you will be taught these things, we just want you guys to try it after once it's over for you guys, like for the first year, right? I'm saying. And I'll show you the integrator also right now. So and well, and this is the integrator, and there is a small this thing where I would like to show here. Like, there is, you have to connect positive, like 12 volt, like 15 volts to positive side and minus 15 to the negative side. Instead of connecting by the wire, you could give a right click on the on the terminal, and you'll get a label. You will get a uh, 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 right click it on the terminal of the battery. You will be able to see a net name. You will be able to give a net or label name there. If you give VCC, and somewhere else also if you give VCC, and it means that those 2 points are connected. It's not necessary to give directly from, you no need to connect a wire, as it may look messy there. So instead of that, you could give BCC, like a label name you could give, so that it will be easier for you to understand what it's doing. And so now here I'm showing you the integrated circuit. So I can so, as you know, integrated circuit, it's almost, it will look like a reverse of differentiator circuit. In differentiator, we will be having capacitor here and resistor here. In integrator, it will be a resistor connected to the input signal and capacitor connected to the output signal. Again, it just integrates the function or input function. That's it. So if you give a square wave, it will give me a triangular output. And similarly, if you give a sine, it will again give me a negative cos and some DC offset. As you know, integration will have some DC value. There are you will be having a DC offset also. As I said before, DC offset is something which when a signal moves by some constant number, like either it moves up or down by some constant number, it's called a DC offset. So here, when I run this circuit, this will be my input form. Wait, before that I and my output will be here. You could see I'm getting a triangular wave. So, and for more clear picture, I would like to show this thing to you. Yeah, so here you could see till this part, till around 4 milliseconds, you will be having a DC, some transient response. That's why you are getting that value. And after 4, the transient response would have died out. So this is what the final output you are getting. So you could see there's a difference between the input signal and the output signal by a constant DC, this thing. So that's that usually you get that because of integrator circuit. There will be a DC offset will be there. And as shown, like I'm giving a square wave, I'm getting a triangular wave. So this is what an integrator does. I'll just show you now what will happen if I give a sine wave. again, yeah. So you could see that here again green wave is the input and blue wave is the output, and here you could see there is a, again you are getting cos, you are getting cos theta, like you are giving sine, you are getting cos as output. So again, as this is what an integrator does. Again, I would like to specify that these these circuits we are just showing for you to understand, just saying that you could also do this on your own, like you could simulate any circuit. So it's just we want to demonstrate how the waveform looks like for these signals, and this is just an additional, this will be definitely taught to you by this professor. You just need to add, if you add a small resistor on top of a capacitor there, you could like cancel out the DC offset which you are getting. So this is just a small this thing, you could try this on your own. So that's what we wanted to say. The basic motto of this workshop was to, like whatever you are reading right now, and second years will be read whatever they will be reading in this semester, to get a practical experience. Like usually I don't know how this labs they are going to conduct. So this is what we studied, like we studied, we implemented, we got a rough idea how everything works. So the basic motto of this workshop was to just convey
Hello,
the, yeah,
Kirti, can you show them the square and triangular wave? Like,
of the okay,
like
yeah, is it fine, sir? Yeah. So this is what we wanted to do. So I hope everyone got some rough idea how to use this. So it's just a start, first step. You could do much more with this thing. This is, we are just giving a rough idea how to start exploring things. If you like it, you could furthermore experience, and there are like many more tutorials on LT Spice. And once if you are in club, maybe we'll give able to give you direct hands-on, like you'll be able to see these components, you could touch this component, you could even like burn these components if you make it wrongly. Yeah, that's also possible. So we were hoping to see you guys soon in the club. Thank you for attending the workshop. If you have any doubts, you could ask now, and we will be posting all the materials, all the files, like these circuits and all. We'll be able to share it in the our social media pages. You could reach us out there also, or you could ask questions here. If you have immediate questions now itself, you could ask here. Fine, Srikar, you could conclude, Srikar.
Yeah, thank you, Kirti. So, no, we don't make ICs. We are not that great that we make ICs. So, ICs are made by professors. So, so this is what I want to tell is to get expertise in analog. It takes years, not just a BTech student can never make an IC. I assure you that. So to gain expertise in analog, you need lots and lots of experience. So the first step in learning analog would be to study and learn to analyze existing circuits. Purpose of analog is to design your own circuit, but the first step as a BTech student, you have to learn to analyze different circuits. And to analyze these circuits, we today we um, gave you a tool named LTSpice. So this way, I hope everything that you learn in your EE 101 and the secondarites who will be learning in their EE 230, that is your analog circuits course. So I hope all of you can. It is advisable that you simulate every circuit that you learn in class. It is advisable because only then you will learn subjecting it to under different conditions, because you don't have lab right now. So it is easier at home simulating circuits and putting them under different conditions, finding the output, and then that's how you see the learn analog. So
Like
uh,
it will be very helpful for the like when you will be doing labs. Like at a point, like it will be very difficult to do hands-on. Like it will be better to first simulate and check the results rather than like going and wasting time there every time.
yes,
Like
because
first,
hmm, yes,
हाँ बोल बोल ठीक है.
तू बोल, तू finish कर दे.
I like that's like that, and this time also definitely they are going to follow some software for labs. Maybe not LTSpice, maybe some other software, but the things will be similar over there. Like almost like the same symbols, everything will be similar there. So if you are like very comfortable with LTSpice, like you can do it in similar softwares. And for you, it will be very helpful because during this online SEM, definitely they are going to have it in some software, like maybe LTSpice, maybe some other, like they prepared, or maybe some other. So it will be very helpful. Like just try to implement the circuit. Like whenever you are done with the course, just try to implement it and like just see the output, like how it looks like. That will be very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, so not just
Yeah.
students.
Thank you guys.
Yes,
Yeah, Srika. Yeah, Srika, you just.
not just students, even the engineers who work use LTSpice or any other software before they design their IC. That is the truth actually. We're asking about ICs, so that's why I'm saying even the big IC designers actually start with LTSpice or any other. LTSpice is very famous because it is free. So they start with simulation and then they go to designing an actual IC. So that's how it is. So, yeah.
Yeah. So finally, guys, and one more announcement. Like this thing which we thought was completely like related to spice and analog circuits only. Soon we'll be having a, most probably by the end of this week, we'll be having a complete workshop conducted by our sophomores, like second yearites. Will be giving a similar hands-on experience on another on different topic. We are not confirmed with the topic yet. It will be something related to circuits only, but not analog circuits. It will be, most probably it will be digital circuits and ICs, and those vagara will be there. So I hope you guys will like support that too, and we need still more people also, like if possible, like you could say this, pass this on to your friends. You could share your experiences. It will be definitely useful, and we'll be able to help a lot more other people also. Thank you guys, thank you for attending.
Thank you all. If you have any doubts, you can always contact us on Facebook. So it's available.
Okay, Shikha, so shall I end this meeting then, end this session? No guys, no doubts, no guys.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I'm wrapping up this session. Thank you guys, thanks once again.
ठीक है. ठीक है.